Hello and welcome to Lost to Grace podcast. My name's Kevin.
I'm Zach.
Today we're going to be talking about a verse. It's found in Romans 12. It's Romans 12, verse 11. We're just kind of going to break it down and walk through it a section at a time. It's pretty short.
Mm-hmm.
The verse is, "Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor, serving the Lord." I don't know, we just kind of were talking about what our next one should be on, and I had talked to some friends about how do we keep our zeal or our passion for Christ, like burning, I guess, like a fire for the Lord. And so that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to talk about a little bit. So we'll get right into it, actually. I'm looking at my notes here. How do we keep our zeal or passion for Christ? So when I was talking to some people about it, a lot of what I heard was prayer, intentional prayer time, like setting aside time for that, and then also just reading God's word and going in study with it. And one thing that I found that is really helpful is for keeping a fire for the Lord and everything is surrounding yourself with friends that are serving God or encouraging to you or whatever. I think both and then some.
Mm-hmm.
We can get into that too a little bit, but those are just some of the quick ones that I found that were really common. I don't know, Zach, what did you find, or do you have any thoughts with that?
Yeah, it's for me too. Like just like it comes down to discipline too. Like you were saying, it comes down to you have to want it, and you will truly make time for the things you love.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy. I mean, if you're going to pursue something, it never is easy.
Yeah.
You have to have the discipline to chase it and to how that looks like. And for me too, it was just taking the time to set aside time, and also putting my heart into it, because that was always a big thing for me. Like I think I talked about a little bit last episode. It was just sort of like a check mark thing for me, like read Bible, whatever. But yeah, it helped me. Even sometimes I would spend less time, but I actually put my heart into it. Like for me, that was the biggest thing. It looks different for everybody. Everybody's personality is different, but that's really what helped me grow, was just taking the time to make time and to discipline myself with it, and surrounding, like you said, a big thing too is having a good group of friends and a good church community. That's a big thing. That's what really helped me grow, especially recently, and growing close to God.
Nice.
It was,
I think too, I feel like we talk a lot about prayer, but I don't think people understand how much it actually does. I don't do it anymore, which I'm not sure why, but I used to get up like earlier and just like spend like, I think it was literally like 10 minutes of just like praying in the morning. Like it wasn't really on anything specific. It was just kind of starting the day off with talking to God and everything. And I remember like I felt really good when I used to do that. I'm not sure. I think I just got kind of like the mornings got really really rough. So I was just like, well, I'll pray on the way. But I do like spending that intentional time with that. So I do want to. I'm going to try and do that this week, actually. That'd be kind of cool. It'd be cool to hit that later on and just see what I heard and everything. Maybe because I do remember with that too. I feel like the Lord spoke so much more. Well, I shouldn't. Well, it seemed like I made more time to listen, so I heard more.
Also, just touching up with that prayer, like for me too, what helps me even a lot is just randomly, even sometimes throughout the day, like even in the middle of something, just talking to God. I mean, it doesn't always have to be loud and verbally, like just in your mind, just something pops up, or even like a temptation or something just pops up, just immediately like take it to God. And that's what really helped me. And even just sometimes sitting somewhere quietly, not even like you just sit there, like just to me, that's sometimes you don't even hear God or the Holy Spirit even, but it's peaceful.
Yeah.
There's nothing, because today's world, it's so, with all the technology, being busy, there's so much stuff that can just get caught up in it, and you miss out on a lot. And for me, it's even just sitting somewhere peacefully.
Yeah. Do you feel like when you sit somewhere peaceful, does your mind, do you have a lot of thoughts that are just running through your mind, or are you able to kind of like stop those?
It depends sometimes what's going on in my life. But for the most part, I know it's a little different for men and women too, because when I tell my mom I sit somewhere peacefully with not much going through my mind, she's like, how in the world can you do that? Like, how do you do that?
Yep.
But for me, like, it is different for everybody. But yeah, it takes discipline too, just to sit there and just,
Nice.
to sit there. And
The reason I ask, like, I sometimes find, like, I try and do that, but it is kind of hard for me sometimes.
Yeah,
and like, I think about like, oh, okay, like I have this to do, and then that, and then that, and I should go do this. And it's like, okay, I just want to sit here for like 15 minutes and not think about anything and just sit here like in peace.
It takes discipline to do it. It's not easy, but like for me even too, it was like sitting in a tree stand. Like you have a bunch of free time when you're sitting in a tree stand hunting, and just taking the discipline to not pull my phone out or even just sit there and enjoy the birds singing, and just it's definitely, it's not snap of the finger, but for me it's just over time. If you take the time and discipline, it really helped me to hear God's voice. And that's also a thing that's helped me grow a lot recently in my walk with God, was just taking time to just sit somewhere peacefully, even if it's just in your room with the door closed, or in bed if you're laying in bed before you go to sleep, just laying there.
Nice.
And that's really helped me recently.
Awesome.
But yeah.
Do you have anything else with zeal and spiritual fervor?
I mean, I didn't have too much on that other yet.
Okay, we can go on into passion. So we talk, what do we do with this passion, like with the fire that we've just talked about? Like, how do we keep it? How do we grow it even, and all that? And in the verse, actually, it does say, like, at the end, the last part of it, it does say serving, like, so it says, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. So that's where our energy and passion should go to. So we can talk about that a little bit. I don't have a whole lot on it. Let me just look at these notes for just a second now. I think it's really important to use like gifts to serve the Lord. Obviously, like, He gave us those gifts. I for myself, like, I really enjoy working with youth. So I've done that for a while, and it's just something I don't really get tired of. Sometimes it's like, okay,
I mean, that's normal.
I would much rather not do this today, but we'll do it. But
that'll happen.
Yeah, that'll happen. And that's something for me that I do. Like, other people do instruments or like, worship, praise and worship stuff, and and I think one other thing, and we need to talk about this on another podcast. I was thinking about this, but encouraging. I think encouraging people. I think there are a lot of people that don't do well. There are tons of people that don't do it, and I've been thinking about it lately, and this is something we'll have to talk about sometime. But I think that's one that all of us should do. I mean, we even talked about it a little bit on our last little section of this verses, like surrounding yourself with friends that like are encouraging and are serving the Lord and all that. Like, you can do life. Life is not as hard when you feel encouraged by others, and it's just like, but I don't think people do that for, like, we like it, but we don't do it. I don't know. It's a little, I don't know why that is, but we don't have to get into that right now. But
yeah, for me too, like, just serving God, sometimes we focus so much on the big, and like you said, encouragement. Like, sometimes it's just a simple, even smile at somebody, or saying, hey, like, the shirt you're wearing or something. It's amazing what that little, because so often we think big, but in reality, the little things are usually almost more important because they get overlooked. Just the simple even opening the door for somebody or something. Or just maybe somebody's having a bad day, a coworker or something, and you're like, hey, you're doing a good job or something. Like, because at work, if somebody tells me like, hey, you're doing good or something, that always like sticks out to me. It's always a big thing. And yeah, it's usually for me, like serving God, it's the little things are really powerful. It's very overlooked. Very overlooked.
That's one thing too with working with youth. They will, whether they know it or not, they will always like, if you can make each of like in a youth group, if you can make each youth kind of feel seen just by like, it doesn't even have to be a compliment. If you just go talk to them or whatever, like that does so much more than I think most youth leaders recognize, or even youth. Like the youth don't really, like sometimes, I don't think they really maybe don't think about it. I don't know. But I think it is a powerful thing, is encouragement, but I don't think we do it enough. I know I don't do it enough. That's something I want to do better on. So, yeah. Do you have anything else with that?
But also, like, usually the little things will sometimes even lead to the big things, as in, like, what truly God has called for you. Because, like you said, like, there's so many things, too. Like, maybe it's not necessarily a gift even, but, like, it's it just comes with following God.
Yeah, 100%.
We all have different gifts and talents, and, people will see God through your actions. Like, that's the biggest thing is, like, even Paul wrote about it. Like, that's the biggest thing. Actions speak louder than the words. Like, if you can tell, like, if you go out, like, if somebody's in a bad mood or something, and that's the biggest thing for me, like, is serving God, just trying to be the best version of yourself and becoming better through that.
Yeah, I agree.
Big thing for me.
We'll go into like the last section. We kind of touched on some of it already, but serving each other. So specifically with zeal and spiritual fervor, how do we help others keep their zeal and spiritual fervor for Christ? So how do we help them keep that fire or light it in them and stuff? I think encouragement, we just talked about that a lot. Like that's one thing 100% that will do that, or will play a big role in it. What thoughts do you have with that?
Just as in general, like helping others also, like you said, encouragement, even like, and just helping them through life, like whatever struggles they may having, like, and just even being a listening ear or something. And I think that's a big thing, like in today's world. Not a lot of people have a listening ear to talk to, especially the right, because some people, like the right listening ear, because some people will try to fix, but they just want somebody to talk to. And I feel like a close friend or a mentor or a family member or somebody, just having that listening ear is a big thing, and then helping them to find that passion and get back on the right track. That's a big thing for me too. Like that's what helped me, like just even having somebody to talk to about anything A to Z, and then helping to get back on that track of following God.
I think also with that, like praying for people, like praying that they, like if you have a friend that is kind of going through something, praying for them, and or even someone that's just kind of going through the motions, just praying that somehow a fire gets lit within their heart to serve the Lord, or to know Him more. And like with friends that do have kind of do have that fire, I think it's really important that we help them step out, or encourage them to step out in their faith. Like if they have an opportunity and it's like you see like they would be great in that role or whatever it may be, and just be like, just tell them like, I think you should do it because you have the ability to do it and you would do a really good job there.
Mm-hmm.
That like really enables people a ton to go step out and lead something or be a part of something. And I think that's an underrated thing too. I know for me, like I've had people do that, like stepping into some leadership roles before, and it was always like very, very empowering, and it like made you feel really good and excited for it. Because like when you're gonna go step into something like that, it can be like
It's a big scary
well,
step.
it's scary. A lot of doubt comes in. It's like, oh my goodness, like this is like people are gonna like if you fail, people are gonna be watching. Like if it doesn't go well, people are gonna see that, and it's like, I don't know, that was a thought that went through my head quite a bit. But people just being encouraging and everything helped me so much with like fighting against that doubt of like, you know, am I cut out for this or whatever.
Yeah. Another thing too, like just touching up, like just recently, like my dad was saying, like so often we look at trying something new and it not working out as failure.
Yeah.
But that's not failure. Failure is not trying
Not
something
trying at all.
because you never know, because what if that is it? Like what if or it's maybe you were supposed to try it and fail too. Maybe that's the step God wanted you to take, because sometimes I feel like God's just waiting for you to take the leap of faith, just taking a step. So many times we're worried we'll go the wrong step, but we're truly following God. We shouldn't be worried in what step. Should not be worried in taking that step out.
Yeah.
Because
what's that one verse? The last part of it is something like, and he will use it. Basically, he'll use like a challenge, to make you more like the Son, more like Jesus. That verse always comes to my mind when it comes to like failure or like rejection or something like that, or like a hard season, a loss or whatever. Like I think like that verse always comes into my head whenever I think or hear of someone that's going through something challenging. It's just like I actually pray that like for people that like I see going through them, like I really want them to just really be in it with God and just let him do like that full work of just whatever he's trying to change in their heart, do in their heart, or heal or whatever. And that verse, I don't know, that verse, I wish I should have highlighted it.
Just reminds me about, I was reading in 2 Corinthians, Paul was boasting about his sufferings because, what was it? 2 Corinthians 12, was it 12:9? My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. And then Paul was saying, therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, because that's usually where the most growth is going to happen, is your weakness, because it shows the raw side of you. Yeah. That's the time to learn. And we can either take it the wrong way and use it as a reason not to do something, or take it the right way, as in learn from it and keep going. And Paul, he was boasting a bunch about his sufferings, actually. And it even talked when he had that thorn in his side, whatever that was, a sickness or whatever he was talking about. But God didn't take it away from him, because he wanted him to have it so he could use Paul through that. And it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's like, I don't know, that it makes you like look at suffering and hard things way different. Like it really shifts your perspective. And I think a lot of people do have almost like a victim mentality. Like they look at what was done to them or happened that didn't work out, and they're just like, well, I give up.
They use that as the reason not to pursue God. But we're all dealt a different card of hands. It's what we do with it. I mean, life isn't fair, but God is fair. I mean, he's just, don't get me wrong. He's just, but life is not fair. It's
especially from our perspective.
Yeah, it's just, it's not. And it's easy too, like for me, like to take it as in like the flesh will take that, and so easy to use it to fuel the wrong things.
Yeah, 100%. another thought I had with this is like when it comes to someone that is maybe not living.
Sorry, there's a thunderstorm going right now. Oh my gosh.
That is, they're not living with reverence to God or something like that, but they are like a Christian, I guess. I think it's really important for us to like kind of like point out how they're living or what they're kind of doing that isn't, I guess, respecting the Lord or whatever, in like a loving way, and like kind of spur them in the right direction. I think that's really important as believers to do.
Are you talking about somebody that is like lukewarm?
Yeah, kind of like a
like
lukewarm.
They would say they're Christian, but they're not.
Yeah, or even like someone that is like does have a good relationship with the Lord, I guess, and like let's say they maybe something they said was kind of harsh to someone, and they didn't see that it hurt them. Just be like, hey, like, that actually did bother them. You should go talk to them. Mm-hmm. And then on the flip side, if we're on the receiving end of that, it's really humbling, and it kind of be hard. Sometimes it's like, no, that didn't bother them. Are you kidding me? Like, but it would be worth, even if you do feel like that, it's like, no, you should go check anyway, because it's way, like, you want to live in unity with other believers.
Yeah, we're not perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I get what you mean. Yeah,
and like my last thought with that too is, well, with most of this, especially the spurring, is I think, tell me what you think about this. I think for us to do these things, we have to, I guess, to an extent, be living it too. Like you need to have
practice what you preach.
Yeah, a solid relationship with God and good like circle of friends, good accountability. And I feel like you need that to even be able to see some things anyway. Because I mean, if you're lukewarm yourself, like you're not going to be able to see where people need spurring and all that anyway. So that's kind of my last thought with that. You got anything else?
You brought up the word reverence. I just had a little bit of my notes, like what reverence to. That's a big, because the verse does kind of talk about that too. Like if you look at the context, what Paul was talking about and stuff, like what reverence to. That's, for me, what reverence is a fear of God. And also like what is a fear of God. I remember when I was younger hearing that. I was like, fear of God, like the way I fear the darkness.
Yeah, a lot of people.
But for me, like a healthy fear is you fear God out of the respect of his power and like the respect of him actually blessing you with this opportunity of life. And it's like so many people look at it, like I said, like the fear, like, whoa, like, yikes. Yeah. Like I need to be scared of him, but it's more of you respect God so much that you fear him, and fearing him is also like you're putting your faith into him. You fear him so much that you actually put your faith into him, and he has so much power, but he's also so loving and so caring, but he's also he's just, and it's, reverence and fearing God goes hand in hand. I don't know how you would look at that.
Do you think, this is something I've been thinking about, because I've been on this the thing of fear of the Lord for like 3 weeks now. I've just been like looking at it. I kind of toned it back a little bit, because I was just like I was just researching, and I wasn't like really like kind of going through, like I've been going through Romans. I wasn't really progressing in that, and I was like, no, I want to keep doing this also. But it was just kind of, it was a good distraction in a way, but it was also like I didn't really, it wasn't it didn't feel like my normal devotion time, which is fine.
Yeah,
but like
fine.
It was whatever. But anyway, do you think that I think when I think of like whatever I'm not sure what verse it is, but it talks about the fear of the Lord. Like, there's a lot of them, but there's one specific one that I'm thinking of. But like the phrase fear of the Lord, do you think for some people let's think about like a person that's in prison
Mm-hmm.
for whatever, and they were like, they're not getting out. Let's say like they all of a sudden have like this, someone preaches to them, or like there's like a vision or whatever of, and they just understand like God's wrath, and it's like a genuine, just like not terror, because I don't think that's that. Well, that's not really God. Like it's not a fear monger type thing, right? But I wonder if, do you think some people have just a genuine, just like, I'm afraid of going to hell, but then the more they look into it, it develops their relationship with the Lord, and it turns into, yeah, fear of the Lord, but more just respect and awe, like the awe of God. And it turns into like they just love the Lord, and they know the Lord loves them, and they respect the Lord, and something like that. I kind of wonder about that, and then I wonder, it's like there's one way, but then the other way is like thinking about like someone that is like, isn't in prison or anything like that, or like even like a Christian that is very lukewarm. All of a sudden they're just like, oh, like I'm not showing the Lord respect, and like he has like, and they just kind of become aware of like, oh, he died, like Jesus died for my sins, and like he owes, like I'm owed nothing, but I'm not respecting him with my life, and I need to change that. And it's almost like this realization. It's not a fear of hell or whatever. It's just it's like a thing of like, oh, I'm not respecting the Lord, and I want to respect him. Do you think like, I kind of feel like that's a thing. I feel like the fear of the Lord, it means the same thing,
Yeah.
but it kind of comes around different for each person, or it's, what's the word? Not translated. Discern, not, I don't want to use the word discern, but like discern differently or whatever, understood differently by two people,
Mm-hmm.
Two different people in different stages or situations in life. And through one just being afraid of hell, and the other realizing that they're not respecting God, but they get on the right path. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a thing. I never really looked into it. It's just a thought I
mean,
had.
because it might, when you start following God, like everybody, it does look different for everybody, and like there's not a right or wrong, like as in, like there's nothing
How
wrong
you
with
get on, how you get on that
and
the
like
right path.
fearing hell. Like there's nothing wrong with fearing hell, but we shouldn't.
Your relationship should progress.
Yes, it should progress, because if you're just following God just so you don't go to hell, that's the wrong way to look at it. Because it's so much more than that. You're missing out on the bigger picture.
And like that too, like the initial, like how does someone start becoming curious about God, or like how do they, and it could be like, it could be through fearing hell, or it could be through realization of, oh, I'm not respecting the Lord, or it could just be what we were talking about, someone just opening the door and saying hi to like someone or whatever. Or, and like, let's say you cross paths with someone that's not a believer consistently, and you're always nice and cheerful or helpful or whatever. You always acknowledge them. Or they might be like, why? Like, who is this person?
Yeah, why are you always happy?
Maybe they ask questions or something like, so yeah, okay, that makes sense. I was thinking about it, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's probably right. But no, yeah, we just figured something out.
Look at us.
Easy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's
a very
good, because like if you hear a lot of people's testimony, like remember like in church when people give their testimony to be baptized, a lot of the number one thing most people say started was because of the fear of hell. And if you're younger, like you hear hell, like obviously you're not going to understand everything. You're younger, like that's normal. But if it leads to, like you said, actually progressing and following Christ, like that's what it means right there.
I wonder, this is kind of another topic, but I wonder for like pastors, or I wonder when there's probably no formula for it, but like when is the right time to be like, hey dude, you better start living your life the right way, or you're actually going to go to hell. I don't know if I'd ever want to say that to someone. That would be like very rare to have to take
it sounds
like that.
brutal,
But
at
sometimes
the
it needs to be
same
said.
time, like if you keep sinning and you're not striving to learn from it and grow, you're in a dangerous spot.
Yeah.
Like that's a dangerous spot to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're like following God, like it's like it is a roller coaster. It's up and down. It's not, but if you're not actively pursuing to learn from your sin, as in like how do I stay away from this, you're in a dangerous spot. You're in a very, very dangerous spot.
Yeah.
And especially if you keep showing up to church every Sunday and like, I'm a quote unquote Christian.
Yeah.
You're showing up to church. I read my Bible. I pray. But you're still living in sin and you're not doing anything about it. That is a spot you don't want to be in, because Jesus said like it's better for you to actually be like, hey, I'm actually a sinner, than to be lukewarm. Because he was saying how he would. What was that verse? You'd spit out lukewarm water.
Oh yeah.
I forget where that verse was, but that's a very, very dangerous spot to be in.
One thing I've been thinking about lately too is like looking back over the last 15, 20 years or whatever, you see like, I think about like there was that fire and brimstone preaching that was always going on. But then it shifted to just God only loves us. And there's nothing, he just loves us. And it's like, there's such a drastic shift that I think the whole fear of the Lord thing, that's why I'm on it so much, is because like anywhere you look, it's like the respect's not there. And like some people, I to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of like the fire and brimstone stuff, because I think sometimes it's
taken too.
It is taken too. Yeah, there's a line, and I think that shift needed to happen, but it was so drastic that you need the balance. You need to have that healthy balance of like, yeah, Jesus loves us, but also like he will send someone to hell. Like, and that's, I don't know. I don't know how, like for a pastor, I don't know how that balance would really be met. I'm not a pastor, so I have no idea. But to get that balance, I don't know how
I see what it is like, especially like here in the U.S., like love, like, like, hey, I'm gay or whatever. And it's like, yeah, God loves you, but he loves you so much. He gave you free will and you can do whatever you want with it. He loves you so much that if you choose to live in sin, you're actually choosing to go to hell. It's like essentially, because he loves you so much. Like he's a gentleman. Like if you truly want to keep living without God, like, okay,
you're allowed. Yeah, you can. It is a choice.
It's a choice.
It is a choice.
And yeah, it's a very dangerous, scary place to be in.
Yeah. I think too with that, I've seen a few podcast clips. I want to listen to the full podcast, but there's a guy that I think it was the Jesus People podcast. He was talking about he was talking to a guy that used to be gay, and he realized that it wasn't right or whatever. And it was actually like, I think this is something that churches miss with people that are living like that, is it is hard for them to walk away from, like, that is a relationship. Yeah, it's not a pure relationship, especially to us. It's like, dude, just leave that. But it is hard for them to be like, okay, like I have this same-sex attraction, but I know that it's not right. And I know that God doesn't want me to live like this. And it's really challenging. And it's a lot of grief that they're going to go through, because it's like, okay, they love this person, but it's not what God wants for me. And it's like, it's hard. And I think churches miss that. I think churches only see like, that's a sin and it's gross, and we're gonna, like, you gotta stop that. And it's like, yeah, but you need people in the church to understand and then walk with them and be like, whatever, like, hey, I know it's like really hard, but like God sees this, and like he's gonna do. I feel like with something like that, especially, like I 100% think God would have a big plan for that somehow. Like that's a lot of grief, walking away from a relationship like that, or any relationship in general. But like that's a lot of grief, and that's hard. And that's a lot of self-control and a lot of just dying to yourself. And I mean, I've heard people that are like, well, are they just supposed to just never have like or like you're saying they're not allowed to be married, or like they can't have like companionship or whatever if they have the same sex attraction, like with the same sex, obviously, is what I'm talking about. But and it's like, well, yeah, I mean, same as like pornography is a huge thing. That desire is there, even if we don't want it. Dying to yourself, or even like premarital sex and stuff like that, like that desire is there, but you got to die to yourself. Yeah. Like that has to happen. That's a part of it. And it's not easy, and we're not trying to say that it is easy, or that, oh, just get over it, like it's not the right relationship. No, it is hard, and I think that'd be extremely challenging to walk through that. But I just think churches miss that. I think they just only see the sin, and that's it. I do think that churches need to draw a hard line of like, we don't allow this in our congregation. But like,
at the same time, though,
we want to help you.
A church is a hospital.
Yeah.
It's because I've always thought too, like, what if a gay couple walked through the door? Jesus wouldn't turn them away. He'd say, welcome in, sit down.
That would be tough. Like, how would you, I don't know how would you handle that, especially as a pastor? Like, I don't know. Because it is, idea.
Yeah, you want to welcome in, but at the same time, they have to then come to the realization of, like, any sin in general, like, hey, comes a point where you have to cut it off. Because it is, like, it to a certain extent, it is somewhat brutal. Yes and no. I mean,
it's really hard.
It's a very, you want to be loving, but at the same time too, like, how much, like, I always look at it too, like, how much do I actually then have to hate somebody to not then show them God's love and show them what's wrong? And the Bible does talk about that, but at the same time, you have to be careful. It's one of those things, like, you really have to.
You have
to come to God and say, hey.
It'd be difficult. I don't know, but
because like Cliff Netchell, like he was saying, like, how much do I actually have to hate you to not say, hey, like. But it also comes down to the person too, because they always have to make the decision too. You can show them God's love and do them right, but at the end of the day, it is that person's decision, because we all do have free will. But at the same time, how do I do it in the way of not doing it in the wrong way?
Yeah.
As in, I did it wrong, and
you have to go back and have to go apologize or something. Yeah.
But because that does happen too. People, like you said, like, churches will focus so much on the sin and not care as much as for the person, or not sure how to say it, but
it's like they feel like they can't care for them until they're clean in a way, or whatever, you know what I mean? Or that's not really a good way to say it, but like,
I know what you mean. Like, we look at it as in, like, you need now, like, stop,
and then we'll care for you. But
that's not how
you care for them now, somehow. Yeah,
because if the more you grow close to God, the more He is going to point out your flaws. He's gonna, because the Christian life is a roller coaster. It's an up and down, but the more time you spend pursuing God, getting closer, He is going to point your flaws out and point out what is wrong, the things where you have to cut out. And that's where it all comes down to. Yeah. The discipline to pursue God. But yeah, it's a lot of challenge.
It would be. We kind of got off the, all of a sudden I was like, wait, we're talking about something completely different. But no, that was really good. It just kind of went from our verse into fear of the Lord and the lack of it into that whole conversation. But I thought it was really good. So we'll see.
Sort of the point of talking about.
It was kind of like,
all of a sudden you go from one thing to the next.
That's actually good. I like when that happens. But yeah, I don't have anything else. You got anything?
No, I think that was sort of
That's
it.
All right. I will say a prayer for us, and then we'll be done. So.
Alrighty.
All right, Lord, thank you so much for the opportunity to do this podcast with Zach, Lord, and thank you for our conversation, Father. And I just pray that it could impact someone that is listening or watching this, Lord. And yeah, we just pray this in your name. And thank you again for the day and for the opportunity, Lord. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you for listening.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.